One thing that's been like a big difference between like the last time you were on the show and like this time is you live stream like a lot, a lot. Has it made a big difference?
Heck yeah. Um, the live streams, they actually give people an opportunity to ask me questions. And so what that does is it boosts the revenue in my business tremendously. When I do live streams, literally like I've made four-figure days. Like within an hour, I've had, four-figure days. But um the thing is, and this is what a lot of people overlook, especially when they're not content creators, or should I say, if they're not business owners,
Mm.
then a lot of people don't realize that not all of us, quote unquote, YouTubers are just, content creators. My Nikki Connected is my traffic source for business. That's not for entertainment purposes. Like, yeah, I like to provide edutainment, as I like to call it, the education and the entertainment portion of it, because I don't like boring teachers myself. So yeah, I'm gonna be entertaining, but at the same time, you know, I'm creating this content as an ad, basically, to get my product sold.
What's up, my fellow hustlers? This your host Elijah Bilel, the host of the Side Hustler Society podcast, and today we got a pretty awesome packed show because we're going to be bringing on one of the guests from season one. Y'all may remember Nikki Connected from season one, but we talked about essentially the tricks of the trade when it comes to being a voice actor or a voice actress, and in particular, how to get contracts with ACX, which is Amazon's platform that they use to promote Audible and audio books. And her channel has actually grown pretty significantly. You'll see in the show exactly what I mean, but she has a lot of experience when it comes to live streaming and promoting digital products and offers. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this podcast. But for those of y'all that aren't familiar with Nikki, well, first off, I recommend that you go check out the first show we did. The link to that will be in the description and also the pinned comment. But Nikki is a Philly based former police officer turned digital entrepreneur who went from cop to CEO, breaking department history by earning 4 promotions in under a year, rising from officer to corporal detective and sergeant all within a year. She left the department to pursue her dreams of making money on her own terms, eventually diving into digital products, affiliate marketing, and online income. Today, she's primarily known as Nikki Connected, where she teaches real, beginner-friendly ways to make money from home and build income streams on autopilot, primarily on YouTube. Her simple, reliable tips have helped thousands earn online income. With her second brand, Nikki for Real, that's Nikki the number 4 Real, is a lifestyle platform centered on the behind-the-scenes life of Nikki Connected. She expands her mission by blending lifestyle storytelling with financial empowerment and inspiring other women to build freedom through online income. So, let's go ahead and hop into the show because this show is pretty packed with value.
Welcome to the Side Hustlers Society podcast, the place where you can find out more about the hustles that are best for you. And of course, make more money in the process. Elijah has been in the gig economy and freelance space for over 8 years and has done over 4,000 deliveries on Uber Eats. Has several video editing clients, many properties on Airbnb, runs multiple YouTube channels, and is the author of the best-selling book, The Anatomy of Financial Success. It's his mission to empower people with the tools needed to be successful. Now, welcome your host, the king of the side hustles, Elijah Bilel.
Okay, Nikki, it's been a small
Hey,
minute, but how you been?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, making it happen. That's all I can say. I'm gonna shut up about the weather. I mentioned the weather like once a show, so let me try
Uh-huh.
something different and not bring up the weather. But we're happy you're able to join us again on the Side Hustler Society. A
Yeah,
lot
no
has
problem.
changed. A lot has changed since you were last on in season one, both with the show and with you. You've gotten significantly bigger in terms of your reach and your YouTube channel. I think you had like around 30,000 subscribers when you were
Did
first
I?
on the show.
I have no idea. You know what? The funny thing is, I don't really track my subscriber count like that. I just do it for my audience. But yeah.
Okay, now see the translation of that. What I'm hearing is you're not gonna brag on yourself, so I'm going to do it for you. Let me just go ahead and pull it up and see what is that magic subscriber number right now. Give me audience, give me 1 sec, because you've been modest about it, but it's a pretty big boost in my book. So you're around 30,000 subscribers back then, and you're at almost 90,000.
Okay.
In fact, no, let me just go ahead and share the screen so people can see that. Yep, yeah, that's approaching 90,000.
Oh yeah.
And then by the time some people watch the show, there's a chance you'll be at 100,000 and you'll be holding that golden play or silver play button, right?
We'll see. It's been a long road. That was a long road to 90K. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Very, very long road.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That actually kind of ties into what we're going to be talking about in the show, because you're a full-time content creator, and some people, they don't know what that life actually entails. So they're going to get a lot of good, I'll say good perspective, if you will.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So hopping right into it, how about you? Originally, when you came on the show the first time, you talked about your work with ACX and just voice acting, but you've grown your catalog of services and products since then. So why don't you tell us a rebooted version of ultimately, like, what do you do as a content creator?
Well, now I actually have 2 brands. So of course, Nikki Connected is the larger one. The other one is a lifestyle brand called Nikki For Real. So basically, I like to consider that as more of like a behind the scenes of Nikki Connected. But Nikki Connected is still, what people know me for, which is connecting people with ways of earning income primarily from home. And now, and I don't even remember, what year was I on here? What year was that?
Let's see. We started in 2022, if memory serves me correctly, and you were one of our first guests. So it's been about 3 years.
Yeah. So I mean, and it's ironic. In 2022 is actually when I changed over to an LLC. So I made a media business out of what I was doing, which was sharing the content on YouTube primarily. And a lot of people don't know, I actually started as a blogger. So my blogging days started back in 2015, and I then created the YouTube channel from that. And the thing is, like, once I did transfer over and, actually create an LLC in 2022, I also renamed my brands, because I'm not sure if I was still considered Deal Finding Diva or not at the time when I was last here. But in 2022 is when I switched over from what my channel was called, Deal Finding Diva, and I was actually sharing ways of saving money. And instead of sticking with that, what ended up happening was just a little prior to that, like a couple years prior to that, people had been coming to me to get more tips to make money, because, once the pandemic hit, we were all scrambling to find ways to make money. And at the time I was Deal Finding Diva, and I just started talking about ways that I was making money, and people asked about that. So that's why I ended up just transforming the whole brand over to building income and making money from home. So also in 2022, when I created Nikki Connected, I also created a whole bunch of digital products. I had courses. I had the audiobook narration course. That was the first one. That's the OG at this point. And I created several courses since then. And I would say, especially in the last year, I started moving away from like the apps. Like, I still do talk about apps because that got really popular on my channel as well. Apps to make money. And I still do that content from time to time. But I think it's more important that people understand how to build businesses instead of necessarily just trying to always get the quick money, because that quick money is going to run out. So For me, it's about the longevity of it. And so that's why I started focusing especially since the end of 2024 into passive income and making money by building online businesses and selling digital products. And so, yeah, that's where we are now. My primary audience is actually the people that want to learn how to sell digital products and things. And of course, I still have the audiobook narration audience and the people that love to get the little gift cards for doing surveys and stuff like that. But yeah, my core audience are the digital product lovers.
You know, I'm remembering the exact quote I said the last time in our last show. And I said, you know, we're kind of opposites in a complimentary way. Like I have a lot of financially offensive like content on my channel in terms of how to make money, and you have like a lot of defensive content, like how to save money.
Right.
You still have that content there, but you have a lot of offensive content this time around too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I said, my thing is like, let's not play small. You know, it's like, yeah, of course we all have those times where it's like, okay, I need money now. So that's why I had those options for people. But in the long run, like that money is not gonna last. You know, like okay, you can finally pay your light bill because you did these surveys, but now what? Okay, so it's like, well, you know, you have to have things out there that can continue to bring you in money even without having to be on the internet or be available, because I'm a single mom. So for me, it's like, I don't have all the time in the world. And I have to make sure I balance, work life and everything else that I have going on. So for me, it's like having that freedom to have digital products that are living on the internet that people can buy 24/7. And, you earn that income. You put in the work that one time or that one short period of time. And those products can make you money for years to come, but it's about the strategies and how to actually get people come in to purchase those products. So that's what I try to also share with people.
No, I think one thing that's important to note when you said that, even though the type of content that you're producing now, it still falls under the same income as unsteady passive income. Anytime income is like unsteady, especially if it's like passive or it doesn't require that much work, it's easy for that income to disappear out your budget. Like you wouldn't even acknowledge it was there. Well, you acknowledged it when you got the dopamine hit, and you ask yourself a week from now, where did that go? And it's gone. You can't even recall what happened to it. That income, and I talk about this in my book, The Anatomy of Financial Success, but that income should be either saved or wisely reinvested. Otherwise, it's going to be like you didn't get it, and it's an opportunity cost.
Right.
So, yeah, I just want to say to the audience, when you're making that kind of money, just keep those things in mind. Otherwise, it's going to disappear, and it's going to kind of be like you didn't get it. And that's going to sting. It's going to sting mentally.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, as a full-time like content creator, I think a lot of people have a lot of fallacies about like what we go through, what our typical day actually looks like. What does a typical day look like for you as a full-time like content creator, from like when you wake up in the morning to like when you go to sleep? And I mean like a full typical day, not just like what you're doing for business, but like when you eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, go get groceries, etc. What does that day look like for you?
Yeah, I am not the most organized person when it comes to a schedule. So like we might as well just throw that out the window. I'm not that girl that's going to be telling you, oh yes, at 5 a.m. I do this and at 6 a.m. I do that. I am not that girl. Every day looks different for me. So I'll just use today for an example. When I got up, I had a long weekend. So it was, for me, I slept in. I do try to wake up around 5 a.m. typically, because that's just one of those things that people often overlook, is like when you wake up earlier, you actually give yourself more time in the day. Like that's before the phone is ringing. That's before, you're answering emails. Like people aren't typically awake to bother you. So I actually like to be awake and doing things before that. And today was an exception, but even beyond that, I have an Oculus, so I meditate. So I do. I go into my little Oculus worlds. I use something called.
Hold on. For those that don't know, what is an Oculus?
Oh, it's by Meta. It's like goggles, and like you can go into a virtual world. So they have games and stuff. And everything is just virtual. It just looks really realistic. And so there is an app that I have in there, and it's called Supernatural. So you can actually work out. So I do boxing, I do all kinds of workouts and stuff in there often. But no matter if I'm working out or not, I'll definitely do meditation in there. So that's what I do. I start my day off with positive, like a meditation. And basically, like, whenever you pick a meditation, like, you can be like anywhere in the world. Like this morning, I was sitting on a beach, and getting motivated. So what I do after that is I don't eat breakfast. I'm just not that girl. So I have my cup of coffee, and while I'm doing my coffee, or should I say while I'm drinking my coffee, I normally will go in. I don't do the email thing that early. For me, it's like I need time to decompress before I start getting into the whole emails and complaining and and anything that I'm seeing in there, any bills or anything like that. Before I get to all of that stuff, then I'll go in and I actually start. I'll normally schedule a post. For example, there were a couple posts that I had to schedule. There's always some work to do. Pinterest posts, Instagram posts, reels. And remember, I'm balancing 2 brands at this point. So, actually setting up automations, for example. Like, I put out a post where, actually this morning, I put out a post where, this was for my Nikki For Real brand, where I was wearing sunglasses and I had to set up an automation so that if somebody put in the word sunglasses, for example, they would get automated messages from me and get the link to buy the sunglasses so I can get affiliate income. So, basically it's always working on some kind of stream. And, once that's set up, that I can set it and forget it. But then of course I'll go post on my Instagram stories, things like that. And yeah, after I do that, I'll go through my emails, see what's going on there, things I need to handle, brands I need to respond to. And then throughout the day, I would say by noonish, I'm normally trying to figure out, like, which brand I'm going to deal with at that point. Like, whatever I feel like doing is what I'm going to do, but for that particular day. But normally by the morning, I already have posts already scheduled. And, sometimes I work on the next day, or, if I can, try to bulk create. And then, like, today is one of those days I have to edit a YouTube video. So this afternoon, I'm going to be editing my video, and then I have to put it out for my members and schedule it also to go public later on. So yeah, so that's what a typical day looks like. My daughter's in high school now, so I luckily don't have to go drop her off and pick her up anymore. She gets dropped off and picked up. So for me, that gives me the freedom. I don't have to do anything. I already have my groceries for the week. So yeah, I throw dinner in the oven in the afternoon, and that's it for me. And I'm typically the type, I'm a workaholic. So at night,
I honestly couldn't tell. Could y'all tell she's a workaholic?
I am. So, like, normally by the time, like, my daughter, she'll get home in the afternoon, like around 4 p.m. So for me, like, I'm a YouTube addict. I will say that. I'm a student of my craft, and what I do is, and I don't typically watch people in my niche. That's the thing, though. I watch, my gossip blogs and all that kind of stuff, but I'm working while I'm doing it. So I'll be in front of the TV with my laptop. And also, and this is something I do suggest for people that do want to get into, like, the content life. The reason, like, because people often tell me, like, your content looks different from other people. Like, I watch other people's, in your niche, and it's just not the same. Yeah, because I don't watch other people in my niche, and I don't want to subconsciously take the things that they're saying or doing or their mannerisms or anything like that. So I actually watch the more entertaining type of content, and that's why my videos come off as more entertaining, more energetic, and I can seem to grab people's attention better. But yeah, that's how I get my stuff. Plus, I'm a theatrical, I have a theater background, so, and I'm a Pisces, so I'm just so I'm automatically animated as is. But yeah, so in the evening, I'm watching YouTube, watching stuff that most people would say, oh, it's brainless content, but I also get a lot of tips, like, oh, I like how they edited this, or that kind of thing, or just little things here and there. But other than that, yeah, I like to be entertained, chill, and do my work. There's always something scheduled. There's always some Pinterest posts to make. There's always some affiliate links that I can put out there, all that kind of stuff, emailing newsletters and that kind of thing. So yeah, I work until I get tired and then do it all again the next day.
Wow. So your little gossip side videos you like watch on the side while you're working. So, well, you said YouTube, but I'm assuming it's just content in general. Does that mean like, would you have like The Reckoning in the background while you're working, or is that like, nah?
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
That's
Oh, you talking about the Diddy Doc?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I watched the whole thing in like one day. I did. And that was on in the background. So I wasn't like, so I know I missed some good chunks of it, but yeah, I'll have that kind of information in the background. And honestly, I did take some things from that. Like when it came to like how it was edited and things like that, I was actually paying attention to a lot of that because I do my own editing, at least for now. I do plan on offloading that editing again because I did have an editor, and honestly, I don't like editing. But when being able to watch other people's stuff and see how things are edited, that does really help me.
Okay. Yeah, I actually haven't seen The Reckoning yet, but I've heard that if you've been following the Diddy case and like the stuff that's been going on, it won't be anything new. It's more a conglomeration of everything that's going on. But when I heard it was produced by 50 Cent, I was already like, okay, like, because anyone that's followed 50 Cent for more than 2 seconds on Instagram and Twitter knows he's a massive troll. And he's like the king of the ultra petty. So I knew it was going to be something. It looks like I was right. Do you know how? I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I know that the cameraman who was filming his Diddy's interactions with his lawyers, he essentially sold the footage to 50. And do you want to know why he did that?
Because he didn't get paid. Diddy doesn't pay anybody, allegedly.
That's so stupid. I was listening to Anton Daniels. He's actually a content creator I watch on a regular. And he was just kind of criticizing. He's like, look, if you don't feed the wolves, eventually they going to eat you.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like, and I would have to say I disagree with like you won't learn anything because I was following that case quite closely. And I also have a background in law enforcement. So for me, it's the other side of it as well. And I was really interested
You're going to see stuff that we're not going to be able to see because of your background.
Huh?
So you're going to see things in it that we don't have the eyes to see given your background.
Yeah. I mean, not necessarily. I mean, there's some things, especially like when they were talking about like how cases are investigated and things like that when it comes to especially rappers, and they say the police don't solve things and that kind of thing. Like it's always, people always say, oh, the police don't solve, they never solve rappers' murders. And it's like, but everybody knows the street code is don't say anything to the police. So how are they going to solve it if nobody's saying anything to them? So it's like certain things that I'll see that people that's not going to really like pop out to other people. But at the same time, I mean, there's still a lot in there that that even a normal person that was following the case would be surprised about. Like, but also I'm not from New York, so I feel like New Yorkers had an inside look into certain things that occurred, like the event. There was an event where some people ended up losing their lives because it was over promoted by Diddy, and that's how they worded it, but it like those were things that I didn't know about. So, and then there were things here and there, but to hear a lot of the story from somebody he grew up with that was very interesting. So it's not just 50, it was somebody that literally grew up with him that was telling us and narrating a good portion of the story.
Oh, I knew it's not just 50. It's just he produced it. Like, someone's paying for this. So it's just like,
Yeah.
I found that kind of interesting. But it's on my list to check out when I have time. So just give me more motivation to check it out, because apparently there's some exclusive information in there. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's good. I do want to go back and watch some more of it because, like I said, I was working, so I was missing parts of it. But it was very, very interesting. I will give it that.
So you said something stood out to you editing wise, like, oh, that's kind of creative. Like, was there anything in particular you want to point out that, like, from a content creator perspective, like you thought that was cool editing wise that you like took away from it?
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of or certain parts were like snappiness, like really, really short clips. But also what I liked, and I'm the type where I'm like paying attention to the filters and the effects too. So
Yeah.
it was like some footage was like, like they would add the film grain to it and make it black and white, or that kind of thing. Like I was really paying attention to that stuff because it's like when I'm editing, I have the tendency to like, oh, I'm only going to edit in color and regular color, and then it's like, oh, but you know what, because sometimes I do, like, I'll make something black and white, add film grain and stuff like that. But for me it was just like, oh yeah, like, sometimes I forget about certain features or certain filters and things like that, and I'm like, oh, I should use this again. So yeah.
Okay, got you. Circling back to, because I'm not going to turn this into an overall different podcast. People might be wondering, Elijah, maybe you should start a different podcast. I'm not going to confirm or deny if I ever do that, just for the record. But
Right.
Swinging back to the content creation, one thing that's been like a big difference between like the last time you were on the show and like this time is you live stream like a lot, like a lot. Like I'll just get up in the morning and I'm getting ready to work on some stuff. Then I start working on some stuff. Then I'll get on YouTube and, oh, I see Nikki's live, and that happened like every day for an entire week, minus like maybe the weekend. I was like, dang, she's really doing this live stream thing like heavy. How much of a difference have you noticed in your business in terms of just success or metrics, whether it's views or money or like whatever metric you value the most when it comes to live streaming more consistency? Has it made a big difference?
Heck yeah. The live streams, they actually give people an opportunity to ask me questions. And so what that does is it boosts the revenue in my business tremendously. When I do live streams, literally, like I've made 4-figure days. Like within an hour, I've had 4-figure days. But the thing is, and this is what a lot of people overlook, especially when they're not content creators, or should I say, if they're not business owners, then a lot of people don't realize that not all of us, quote unquote, YouTubers are just, content creators. My Nikki Connected is my traffic source for business. That's not for entertainment purposes. Like, yeah, I like to provide edutainment, as I like to call it, the education and the entertainment portion of it, because I don't like boring teachers myself. So yeah, I'm gonna be entertaining, but at the same time, I'm creating this content as an ad, basically, to get my product sold. So this is my way of marketing. This is literally the whole channel is marketing. That's what it's based on, is making people aware of my brand, is making people aware of me, my products. That's what it's for. So it's not that I'm creating entertainment, content just to be a clown. I'm literally doing it to get revenue into my business and make people aware of my business. And I also do coaching as well. So people often don't know, like, okay, well, I don't know what kind of sales I'm going to go into, or what kind of business I'm going to build online. And, they might end up, booking a coaching session with me, or getting one of my products to help them streamline their process, or help them pick a niche and that kind of thing. So yeah, like everything that I do, even if it's including like a lead magnet, like a little freebie that I'm giving somebody, a little ebook or something, that is to lead to sales. That's how business owners do it, so people often like to put us in the box of oh, you're just a content creator. It's like, no, I'm not just a content creator. All business owners these days pretty much have to be content creators. So the live streams are a way of basically, that's like having a physical store where it's like, you know, people can come into your store and they can ask you questions about the product before they buy it. That's what my live streams are for. So I'm educating people about how my products are used and how to earn money with what I'm doing, or, you know, following my processes. But at the same time, at the end, I'm going to let them know, like, these are the products that I have that can help you. So it's not just, oh, okay, I'm signing off and I'm not promoting anything. Every single thing that I have is going to promote something, because I'm a business owner and a business has to run on revenue. So especially, like I said, when people don't have their own business, then a lot of times they don't know. And plus, it's still a new concept. And I understand that. But the live streams give people an opportunity to ask questions. So I have a lot of people that are overthinkers, and they're like, oh, well, you know, maybe I'll watch 100 more videos and then maybe I'll be more comfortable with getting into this. And it's like, no, you're watching 100 videos and you're not doing anything. So now I'm going to go live to answer your questions and you know, help you understand why is it that you're hesitant, or you're overthinking, or something that you may misunderstand, and I can clarify that, so you know whether or not this is something you want to go into. Like, I'm never going to tell somebody like, oh, you should definitely go into selling digital products if that's not the road that they want to go down. But I can help people determine whether or not they should be going down this road. Like, my thing is, I tell people all the time, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, how do you expect people to open their wallet and invest in your business? So, you know, I'm going to give it to them straight and tell them, like, maybe this is not for you. If, you know, if this is what you're trying to do, you're trying to build a whole business off of $0. That's not how it works. So yeah, so that's, you know, I like to talk real to them. I like to, you know, let them understand, like, when you're going into this is not your little side hustle. This is your actual business. Because when you're collecting even $1 from somebody, you are a business, and to Uncle Sam, you are a business. So that's the kind of thing that I try to make sure I help people with when they come to my live stream. So yeah, I'm going to sell my products, but I'm also going to be realistic and educate people with, you know, on the products, or the ways of earning the income, and educate them on whether or not this is for you. Are you thinking realistically? So yeah, that's how the live streams go. So for sure, being that I'm able to answer the questions and things for people right there on the spot, people are often like, oh yeah, like, okay, she's the real deal. She's, you know, she's actually answering my questions. She seems educated on this. So I'll buy the product from her. So I make a lot of sales during those live streams. Right now, I'm not doing any live streams. So the reason why you were seeing me doing so many live streams was because I was actually leading up to my Income Creator Summit. And so that's something that's pretty popular, where I'll do it like maybe a couple, two to three times a year. And basically we focus on actually getting income streams started. So it's a 3-day virtual event that I do. And so I was basically letting people know about that. I was educating them on digital products and selling online and that kind of thing. And leading up to that, I was telling them, I'm like, once the Income Creator Summit comes, you know, that's when I disappear. I fall back, and, you know, I focus more on my evergreen content, which would be my long form YouTube videos and webinars. Like, maybe, you know, they can watch a pre-recorded webinar, but I'm not going to go live, because that is burnout. Trust and believe me. It's very tiring to go live every single day. And sometimes I was going live even 3 times a day.
I would believe it. So do you think that live streams are kind of replacing webinars in that way?
I don't know if I would say replacing them, but they are a great alternative to them for sure. I think with webinars, it is I think those are better where you can actually vet people. Like when it comes to, you can see the seriousness of people when it comes to webinars. For example, if somebody's taking the time and filling out a whole registration form and they're waiting for that date and then they're actually showing up, like that's somebody that's like more, warmed up to actually making a purchase or, actually learning. But then, the live streams are more like, hey, everybody, everybody come into the room, and so you have those people that just feel as though since you're on YouTube, you're a clown and you're an entertainer and you're there to entertain them. And, so they're not there to buy. So for me, again, as a business owner, it's about the revenue. It's not about like the number of viewers or anything like that. So honestly, I think in webinars, I feel like the quality of the quality of the viewer, like when I say the quality, I mean like potential customer.
Maybe the better word to use is lead.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. So they're warmed up and things like once they come into your webinar, but you're literally talking to cold leads when you're doing a live stream. And the one thing that I did decide to do with my live streams is I make them subscriber only, like to be able to comment. So I put my comments on subscriber only because there's the people that, and I want to say that they're kids, but it's probably some grown people at home still doing the same thing. Like they'll come in and they'll just try to disrupt the room and they'll say nasty things or, try to distract people or, throw lies in the comments or something like that. And so what I do is I make it subscriber only mode. So now only my subscribers can comment. And I actually, that basically eliminated all of my distractions when it comes to my live stream. So that makes it more fun for me to be able to show up as well, because I'm just not that person that I'm an introvert. So like people often don't even know that, but I'm severely an introvert. So for me, it's like, no, I don't, like once I'm done a live stream, I'm probably not really talking to anybody in my real life. Oh, so I just literally I shut down. So so for me it's like I don't want the extra distractions or anything like that, because it already like is emotionally like draining for me to even be talking to these hundreds of people, if not thousands of people in these live streams and stuff. So it's just I need to decompress, and just filtering out those comments really does help me.
So it sounds like a webinar is more of a filter.
Yeah, definitely. And of course you have those people that sign up for the webinar and don't show up. And it's like, well, why'd you even sign up? Even if it's like a webinar that starts immediately, you have people that'll go through the whole registration page and then still not watch. It's like weird. But then that filters those people out. So at least with the webinar, and because I do live webinars and I do automated webinars. So just like my Income Creator Summit, that was like a 3-day webinar. It was three whole days of me. They were 2.5 hours a night for that summit. So that took a lot out of me, and I knew I wasn't going to be doing live streams after that for a while. But yeah, when I do pick up with the live streams, that's it's going to be to promote something else or whatever it is, and be able to answer people's questions and help them live. But other than that, then I take breaks. So the live streams aren't really consistent on my channel. Like my long form content is really what gets me the people constantly, because it's like once the live stream is over, it's like, okay, like people don't typically go back and rewatch a live stream, especially not after the first day. So it's like you're only as good for like maybe for a few hours, and that's it.
Interesting. So like on that topic of live streaming, how were you able to do it so consistently? Even though you had a game plan, it seems like it's kind of like a 30-day or 60-day burst. But regardless, how were you able to actually pull that off? Like, were there some hacks you used where you weren't in the mood to do it and you did something to kind of get yourself in the mood to live stream? Or like what made live stream so easy to the point to where you were able to do it 2-3 times a day, even if it was for a short time frame?
The revenue was like, it's like, you You show up and
did
you got people every sale is earning like $200-$300, and it's like, oh, I can go live and get some quick money. It's like, okay, that's a no-brainer. Like, let's be
So
real.
theoretically, if you're not in the mood to live stream, just pull this up, log into your bank account real quick, or just look at your metrics. Like, well, I see what happened yesterday. I'm in the mood now. Let's go.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, and I would tell them, I would be 100% honest. I would tell them, like, I'm doing this live stream, but there's no guarantee I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow. Like, it really does depend on on a lot of whether or not I would do it. I started getting a lot of people that would come back every single day, and I pretty much now I have this certain flow. I have this basic outline for the live streams. It's literally, for me, I'm like, it's the same live stream every day. But, of course, I'm giving like some different tips in there, or, cracking different jokes. And, so it is a little bit of a different vibe, but the information is still the same. So it's like I have people that show up every single day, to watch the same live stream. And I tell them this, I'm like, listen, I love y'all being here, but just also make sure you're taking the information and not just using me as entertainment. You should be taking this information and making these digital products that I'm telling you about and that you're asking questions about every day and implementing it, and not using this as an excuse to procrastinate. So, but yeah, I would tell them, like, sometimes it depends on how I feel tomorrow. If people aren't interacting, or if people aren't at least liking the live to help get the live out to more people, then I'm not coming back tomorrow. Cause I'm just not going to feel it. It is what it is. So it's like, if I don't feel it, y'all just not going to get a live stream, and you're not going to get the information the next day or whatever. So for me, it was like a give and take thing. I'm like, this is a free live stream. I could be doing only paid stuff, but I'm coming here, I'm giving you something live. So just hit the like button or whatever it is. And, what I also noticed is it builds a community as well. That was one thing that I was missing over the years, was an actual community on my channel. So literally, like, having the same people come, day after day to watch those live streams, that did also build a community. So I have the people that, I just seem to like know exactly who they are. I'm like, okay, you got this product. I remember you. And so, especially if some of them will email me personally and things like that. So we'll have like these dialogues and things. So I do get to know them. And it's to the point now where even they come into the lives, they're like the live, y'all better like the live and say good morning to her and that kind of thing. So they literally, they're my crew. Like, they literally will say certain things before I even have to say them, like, to prevent me from even saying it. I don't really have to ask people to like the lives anymore, because my community is normally in there. Like, y'all better like this live. Yeah, the likes are not liking y'all. So, so I have my supporters that do come in there, and it makes it easier, and it makes it, easier for me to want to come back that next day. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, I think it's the community building aspect of it, as well as the revenue, like, to be 100% real.
Okay. One thing that I noticed, it probably makes it very easy. I'm just looking at your background, and you already have a set up, and I think that might be a different chair than I've seen before, but it looks pretty comfortable. So, like, I think you going live is as simple as you sitting down, and you'll set up the stuff on the computer, but everything in the background it's already set up. So you just sit down, do the computer stuff, and then you're officially live, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And that's this scene. A lot of the lives that I was doing as well, I would just do it from my cell phone. So there's times I would do it from my kitchen. I'll do it from my living room. Like, it would just depend on how I felt. Like, sometimes I don't want to get off the couch. I'm going to do it from the couch. So it was what it was. So, but I think it will also make people curious. Like, oh, well, what's the scene going to be today? Is she actually going to do it from the room with the lights, or the kitchen, or where's she going to be? As a matter of fact, there was one of the last lives that I did. Maintenance people had to come in for my apartment. They were like doing some regular maintenance in all the apartments. And I was like, well, I'm going live. So I ended up having midstream having to get up and walk into my bedroom. And I'm like, all right, y'all in my bedroom now. So, we're going to continue to stream in my room. So,
Right.
it's not necessarily like a straight setup thing. I will say, just from the experience of it, YouTube will, they actually give you more viewers if you stream vertically from your phone. Hands down.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hands down. Oh yeah, that's the plug. Yeah, hands down. The thing is though, in order, like what I always did is I have like an external mic, like I have it now. It's crazy because I bought accessories for it, and then I started streaming from StreamYard, and just doing the widescreen and the vertical through StreamYard. But I will say, when I started doing that, I got less views as well. So using a streaming platform is not going to get you as many views as you would just from your cell phone. So that's why I would just go live from wherever. Like there's been times I would go live like outside. Like I literally, but the phone is what would really get me the most views. But yeah, but there ended up being a problem with my streams started crashing. I would say the last 2 weeks that I was doing streams, and that's why I ended up going back to StreamYard. And so, I have a YouTube partner manager, and so they did get me linked up with like YouTube support to get it done. But honestly, I got so scared to even try it again because it was literally when I was about to like make sales and stuff, like people were excited to buy, and right before I go and send them over to the store, it would crash. And so then I would lose all of those viewers. So I mean,
And
after
all
that
that
happened,
momentum.
I remember the last time it happened, I had several people that were like, yeah, like, I'm ready. And I'm like, okay, let's go. And sure enough, as soon as I was about to show them, give them the link, which mind you, I do tag my products underneath the video, like, cause I'm a part of YouTube shopping. So that is something that is allowed for me, where I can literally put my digital products attached, make them attached to my videos. But people don't pay attention to that. So even though the product was sitting there, people weren't clicking it. So, but once I, point it out and I actually walk them through it, I'll literally pull up my iPad or show on my desktop computer. This is where you need to go. And then also I'll throw in an additional link in the chat, and we'll let them know, like, okay, these are the ways that you can buy. Like there are several different ways, even though you can literally click the product, but people seem to want to go about it the longer way. So I typically have to walk them through it. And with YouTube crashing right before I would start the walkthroughs, or right when I was starting the walkthroughs, I was like, I can't do this anymore. And like, it literally cost me a lot of money those last couple of weeks. So I went back to StreamYard. But like I said, using a streaming platform significantly reduced the amount of views that I was getting on those live streams, even though I was streaming both widescreen as well as vertically.
Wow. One of the content creators I met at Vid Summit, Rebecca, she's a gaming streaming channel, and like she streams not daily but pretty frequently. But she has two streams. Like one is on the computer, you can tell, but another one is vertical. And it just, when you said that, it clicked for me. The vertical stream always has like 4 times the amount of viewers. Now,
Right.
I actually kind of wondered why she was doing it. Then I saw the viewer count, but it didn't click until you just mentioned that. But then again, YouTube has really been pushing anything vertical for the past few years. So I guess that would make sense. But speaking of streaming, this is the last streaming question. But I've been in live streams where the stream is dead, despite people being in there. Well, not the stream, the chat. So, they're talking blah, 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 blah. You can tell they want the chat to interact or ask questions or whatever, but it's just not happening. But you have a lot of engagement on your streams when you do them. How did you, what's your secret to having that happen? And it must be a story because I see that
There
big
is.
smile.
It's ironic. So I always tell people network, right? Like if I'm leaving home, typically it's some kind of networking opportunity because like I said, I'm an introvert. So I actually forced myself to go to a networking event for Temple University because I'm an alumni. And this was just a couple months ago. So I met somebody there and we exchanged information. And he told me, he said he wants to start creating content, but his wife works for QVC. He didn't tell me like what, like we didn't really go into detail, but sure enough, that same week, we all met up, all three of us, me, him, and his wife, and we spoke business, networking. And so sure enough, we ended up on the topic of live streams. And I told her, I said, people don't seem to engage. Like I'm not really getting as many sales as I want and that kind of thing. And homegirl broke it down for me. She's like, I do live streams for QVC and these are my secrets. And so she gave me a whole bunch of tips. So I immediately implemented her tips and sure enough, my sales went up. But some of the stuff that she told me included like reminding people like, not just mentioning one time, like I have this to offer or to, even with the likes, for example, you have to repeatedly remind people because sometimes they're just zoned into, oh, this is good information. Let me write this down, if they're, like really serious about it. But also some people just sit there just staring, people are zoned out. Like, yeah. So the thing is like, you have to constantly remind them like, hey, make sure you guys hit the like button, but also not just hitting the like button, but I also create incentives. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to give you guys the scoop until I get to 10 likes or to 20 likes. I'm not going to give you free information and I have 20 people in here and I only have 8 likes. So I need people to step up and show support for the channel. I'm not asking you for money. I'm going to give you this free information, but I need you to help me help you. And hitting the like button gets the stream out to more people, which helps me in the long run. And it also gets me to come back and continue giving you guys free information day after day. So it's a win-win situation. So, you're not going to get this information in this stream unless I get X amount of likes. So that's one of the things that I'll do. And then you'll immediately start seeing likes go up. So that's one of the major tips that she gave me. So, yeah.
All right. Oh, speaking of which, I need to hit my engagement thoroughly right now. So y'all need to hit that like button. Very much appreciate it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you're new, if you're really feeling this content. And we're going to leave Nikki's information in the description and the pinned comment. So be sure to go check out her stuff too. What's up, y'all? Hopefully y'all enjoying the content that y'all are watching right now. That content being YouTube or content creator related. With that being the case, I would be remiss if I didn't share the following with you. Many people wonder exactly how was it that I was able to establish 4 different YouTube channels, 2 of those channels being in the YouTube Partner Program, and one of them being a podcast channel that has different ways of making money. Now, I was able to do this in a large part because I'm a part of Awesome Creator Academy. Awesome Creator Academy is an academy focused on creative entrepreneurs that's run and founded by Roberto Blake. Now, they're not a sponsor of this video, but I am an affiliate of theirs, and I've known Roberto Blake for a few years now. When I first joined his Awesome Creator Academy back in 2019, I only had one channel, and that channel was known as the App Lifestyle at the time. Since then, I've renamed that channel to the Side Hustler Society. I started another channel called Financial Anatomy that's much bigger than the Side Hustler Society. The Side Hustler Society now has its own podcast that significantly expanded my network and brought y'all value. And it even helped me start a YouTube channel based around a local meetup group that I have called The Veggie Outers, where we go to vegan restaurants and review them on a scale of 1 to 10. Being a part of Awesome Creator Academy helped me launch all this, and it significantly boosted the money I was able to make, not just from YouTube, but just from online businesses in general. I then took that money and then branched off into real estate locally, which allowed me to start making money with Airbnb and through real estate. All that has its foundations in me being a content creator, and that was significantly expanded because I'm part of Awesome Creator Academy. If you're serious about being a content creator and you want to maximize the most amount of money you can make with this new business of yours, I highly recommend that you check out Awesome Creator Academy. The link is going to be in the description and also the pinned comment. In the Academy, there are hundreds of hours worth of training in regards to pretty much anything that you'll need to know when it comes to the creator economy. Roberto also hosts live office hours twice a week to answer any kind of questions that you may have. So if you're serious about taking your content creation career to the next level, sign up for Awesome Creator Academy today. Roberto's been generous enough to give my community a 15% discount on your first purchase. So take advantage of that and sign up for Awesome Creator Academy today. With that being said, let's get back to the video. Moving away from live streaming, Nikki, you have a special ability, right?
I have a what?
A special ability, like a superpower.
What is that?
You want to know what it is?
What?
I've seen creators make products and they just make some because they want to make it, but it doesn't sell because it's not really what their audience wants or needs. But every time you see a need or want from your audience, it could be like the next day, or if not by the end of the week, you're going to have a product or service that directly addresses that want or need. That's your superpower or special ability. So with that in mind, what is your thought process when you create an offer? Because you're very good at making them and matching them to your audience needs and wants.
Well, the number one is ChatGPT. Like, don't get it twisted. And that's the thing. Like, and I make no secret of that. Like, when I do my live streams, I tell them I am the blueprint. Like, you want to know how to promote your products. You want to know, how to sell, and how to speak to your audience. I'm literally your blueprint. You're seeing it. It's not as hard as a lot of people are making it. It's like you're literally watching me do it. And so but even in those live streams, I tell people, like, I make sure I give them, I'm like, these are 2 apps that you need to have on your phone. One of those apps is ChatGPT. It's free to access. And I do have Explore GPTs as well. Like, those are, and a lot of people overlook that, especially when they're new to ChatGPT. So a lot of times Explore GPTs are specialized versions of ChatGPT within your ChatGPT that you don't pay anything extra for necessarily, unless you go buy a special one off the platform. But Explore GPTs, for example, I can find an Explore GPT on Instagram. If my Instagram views, like if I'm not getting followers and stuff, I'll go find an Instagram Explore GPT to help me specialize in this. And so there are marketing Explore GPTs and things like that. So you can literally go in there, and these things specialize in these particular things. But I will say, ChatGPT, I always tell people, it's not our actual brain. Like, this is to help generate ideas. So I don't fully rely on ChatGPT, but I do get it to help me get the wheels turning and trigger more ideas. So after I finish a live stream, I'll go into ChatGPT and I'll tell ChatGPT, I was able to get this many sales. I was able to, like the audience was engaged, or they weren't engaged, or, I'll literally break it down to ChatGPT and say, okay, for my next live stream, let's, come up with a plan. Like, what should we be doing? Because I'll even say, like, I said this thing in the live stream and people reacted, so I definitely want to keep this in here as a part of my outline. So I brainstorm off of ChatGPT. And so also, not just like with the live streams, like when I'm having these conversations with ChatGPT, I'll literally tell it, like people are asking questions about this, and just for example, like people will ask me for digital product ideas. Like, they'll be like, I don't know what kind of niche I'm going to go into. And so, mind you, I have access to a whole bunch of PLR products, which are, ebooks and things that are already done. So first and foremost, even outside of ChatGPT, I can literally go in there and find an ebook about, and this is something I literally did, went and found an ebook about digital product ideas. So I'll let people know, hey guys, you need digital product ideas. Here's, a lead magnet. Here's, a little freebie for you, 177 digital product ideas. I read through it. It was great information. They get it as a freebie. Now they get on my newsletter list and can get automated emails about my actual products that can help them more directly. But yeah, based off of like what people do tell me, because mind you, these people do email me back. We have conversations, and also in the chats, like they straight up say like, oh, well, I'm confused about this or whatever, and I'll break it down. Now, really, I don't have to create any more products. I feel like everything that I have at this point pretty much covers all of the bases. And if it doesn't, I can improve a product that I already have in order to answer that question or to answer that need. So at this point, I don't really even see myself creating a new product, because I will build off of people's questions. Like with the audiobook narration course, that was like bare bones in the beginning. I built that off of people's questions. People were trying to, like, well, what equipment do you have, or what are you using right now, or how fast should I be reading? And, those were modules I would add to the course because people have those questions. So for me, like, I didn't need to build a whole new product. But yeah, like when people were asking, especially like last year and stuff, for certain products, or asking questions about products or about making money online or anything like that. And I'm like, okay, well, let me come up with a little quick little ebook or something, and then let you know about also my coaching. Cause it's like, okay, well, clearly you're not understanding this. You need some one-on-one help. I can help you with the coaching. So either way, like I think at this point I have all the bases covered based off of what people have already asked me. It's a lot.
I'm just, as you're saying that, I'm just remembering the interaction I had with ChatGPT. I've been involved in real estate for a few years now, but I'm expanding into buying houses and expanding into different strategies. And I told ChatGPT, okay, I could do it, but I thought I would test ChatGPT for this. So I said, ChatGPT knows everything about me and the Veggie and financial anatomy and the side hustle society and all that, because I've given it all the information. So I told it to put together an inbound marketing strategy to leverage all the stuff that you know about me in order to let people know that I am a real estate investor investing locally in the DFW market, and that I'd be willing to pay up to $1,000 for a referral on a deal that closes. And if anyone needs to sell their house and within a certain time frame, I'm the guy to help them with it. And it came up with this like in-depth, like 5-step breakdown on how to utilize the veggie outers for it, how to utilize the side hustle society for it, and even said, and for this particular brand, they put me in 2 different categories. They'll respond best to content creator Elijah, not seller Elijah. And in this brand, you do better to be the seller version of yourself as opposed to content creator. I was like, well, this is pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
exactly.
it knew everything about me, though. I gave it the information it needed. And I think a lot of people, they don't let it know everything about you first. Like, it knows I'm a best-selling author. It knows I'm a content creator, a YouTuber. It has all the information it needs. As Benjamin said, I had him on a show where we talked about how to utilize AI. Like, ChatGPT it knows everything about the world, but it's not educated on your world. It's your job to educate it on your world so it can get you the best results.
Exactly. And it's funny because and I talk about this in all of my live streams, but there was literally a prompt that I put into ChatGPT in December of 2024. And it was because my back was against the wall. And I was like, I need you to help me come up with a plan to earn $10,000 a month within 3 months. And the thing was, I didn't just ask it that basically. I asked it in a very detailed way because I had just found out that some of the digital products that I had been using over the last several months had resale rights. So I was able to resell that product and profit from it, but I was only using it. So I let ChatGPT know about that product. I let it know about a video that I was putting out. And so it basically was like, this is what you're going to do. When you put this video out, you're going to, mention this. And then so I was getting affiliate income. And I mean, it was like crazy affiliate income once that video came out. But literally between the plan that it had for that particular video and promoting the affiliate links within it and the digital product that I was able to resell, it came up with this really detailed plan, which included start doing live streams. That's why I started doing the live streams, because ChatGPT told me to do it. And I was like, hey, you think I could sell live streams out? So sure enough, but yeah, when I used that prompt and I implemented everything that it told me immediately, the first day I earned a couple $100, second day a couple hundred more, and then by the third day I had my first $1,100 day. And I tell people, I'm like, I had a successful career in law enforcement and I never had an $1,100 day put my life on the line. So, that was actually triggered because ChatGPT got the wheels turning. Like I knew of live streams. I had done some here and there, but never thought to, put this video out and then start doing live streams. Because that video, it was just like the trigger of both of them. I put this video out about creating ebooks, and that video actually went crazy. And that same day I was starting to get affiliate clicks, and people were getting that product, and the company I was affiliated with, they were paying 50% revenue. So it was high revenue. And then on top of that, so I had a video that was already like starting to go pretty, I'm not going to say viral, but it was doing very, very well, like better than most of my videos. And then on top of it, I went live. And so it was the combination of those two, where people are new to my channel. YouTube is pushing this video out to people that never heard about me. And then people are coming over to my live streams like, oh, I was just watching your video and I saw you were live, and I wanted to see you live. So that's how my first burst of customers with these digital products, that's how they started coming back in last December. So yeah, it was just the combination of things, and it wouldn't have happened if ChatGPT didn't come up with that plan.
Gotcha. So speaking of your offers, what is your most popular offer?
Whew. The thing is, it's definitely it's something called the Royale Business Academy. So it's an online business platform, and the thing is, it's considered what's called an MRR product. So it's a master resale rights product. So this is an online like educational platform. So it teaches you how to build any kind of business. It has over 100 business courses in it. It costs less than $100. It's literally $77. And the thing is, when you purchase it, you get access to everything in there, lifetime access. You can go through the modules. They have like free mentorship and live streams and all. This thing, before we were able to name our own price, some people were selling it for over $500. And they made it so that we all had to sell it on an even playing field for $77. But the thing is, when people purchase it, they also get the rights to be able to resell it. So now you can learn from it. And that's what I did. I immediately, before I even started promoting it, I was learning from it. And just like with my digital products last year, if I see that it's working for me, heck yeah, I'm gonna let my audience know about it. So I go hard for this platform because just in the first week of using it, it had doubled the revenue of my business, and it made things make sense for me. It was teaching me about marketing, and even with the live stream, certain things that I could say, and just from the ground up, and it doesn't just focus on digital products; it focuses on physical businesses as well. So I let people know, like, you might go into this thinking like you're gonna, you just want to focus on selling digital products. But okay, what if you now want to open a barbershop? What if now you want to get into Airbnb? Now, what if you want to get into becoming a travel agent? All of these courses are already in there. How to get business credit, funding, all kinds of things. So it's like for $77, I'm like, and it's lifetime access. They really do update this stuff often. So I let people know, like, you should be using the information in here to build your business. Plus, they give you a whole bunch of free digital products that are already made that you can sell. So there's no reason why anybody shouldn't be able to get at least 10 times their money back within a month. So I let people know about that, and that sells by itself. But then even outside of that, during my live streams, especially, I'll bundle it. And so I'll bundle it with like and I change my bundles around because I'm one person, so I can't offer my coaching sessions endlessly. So but I might bundle it with, like, you get Royale Business Academy where you can resell it. You get 100% of your money back if you sell it one time. But also I'll throw in a coaching session with me and my AI prompt that helped me earn that first $1,100 day. And then, as a matter of fact, within that 30 days, I had earned over 12K. So
Nice.
I let them know, like, I have a prompt pack that, I'm going to throw in with that. And that prompt pack has that prompt as well as 59 other prompts to help you make money. So that bundle, I'll normally sell that together. And sometimes I'll swap out products. I might take out the coaching. And recently I was like, okay, I'll give my Income Creator Summit tickets. It was $100 ticket, and Royale Business Academy and the AI prompts. So I'll swap them out, but I'll basically, during my live stream, sell bundles, and people know, like, I'm not going to get this price and this bundle may not be available, like, because Income Creator Summit is done. So that's, the people that were buying for like the last couple of weeks of my live streams, they knew, okay, what if I don't get this bundle is not going to be available for me anymore. So that's how that typically works. But yeah, people seem to really love when I package things together. But Royale Business Academy is absolutely my number one seller right now. So it does sell by itself, but I actually sell even more when I bundle it and let people get some kind of access to me. Like right now, one of the things, and it's more behind the scenes, I offered it to my newsletter people, but my current bundle is Royale Business Academy along with 2026 monthly coaching and some other stuff in there. So that's so I swap out the bundles, and people tend to love the bundles because it saves them a whole ton of money, and it actually ends up costing less than just one coaching session with me. So people tend to be like, okay, I need to clock into this live stream right now, or if she's telling me she's offering this bundle for a limited time, I know she really is offering it for that limited time, and I better grab it now. So that's how, again, RBA is the number one seller, but it typically is the number one seller, especially within my bundles, along with other products.
Gotcha. Well, it makes sense given what you just said. Going to the other side of the spectrum, like, which one of your offers do you feel is like underrated, and why do you feel it's underrated? Like, maybe it should be getting more attention.
Honestly, RBA, Royale Business Academy.
So it's the same answer. Okay.
It is. Yeah, because the thing is, people don't tend to get it unless I'm doing a live stream. Like, I'm gonna be 100% real with that. So, like, sometimes I'll get people that will buy it off the gate, or sometimes from my newsletter because they're more familiar with it. But for the most part, that will sell when I am walking people through and letting them know, like, this is what's in it. And it's not even necessarily that I have to tell them exactly what's in it, because I sell it a lot of times before I even demo what is inside of it. Because also during my live streams, my bundles are available for a certain number of minutes as well. So I let them know, like, okay, I'm going to walk you guys through this, and show you some of the modules that are in here. But the countdown is on. You have X amount of minutes if you want to grab this bundle. So for them, sometimes before I even start the walkthrough, I'm already getting sales because they know, like, and like I said, some of the people already know I do want Royale Business Academy. I just don't want it by itself. And the thing is, it has, like I said, over 100 business courses in there. It's a no-brainer for $77. And like, it also has like how to build like your personal credit, as well as there's another module on business credit, right? So I try to explain this to them during the live streams. People are going to charge you hundreds of dollars for these courses individually. And you have this available, an opportunity to purchase this for $77. And then you can turn around and sell it to as many people as you want for the same $77. So, and it teaches you how to sell it within it. So, and I know, like, there's some misconceptions out there about that, where they're like, oh my gosh, that sounds like an MLM. An MLM is not going to help you actually build your business. Literally, Royale Business Academy will teach you how to build any kind of business. And so it's like, I think a lot of times people are going into it thinking like, oh, okay, well, this is just, somebody trying to get me to sell something that they're selling. No, I'm I'm offering it to you because I use it and I know what the benefit of it is, and I know how it increased my profits. Even outside of it, we can even take out the fact that I sell Royale Business Academy. My coaching sessions, I've never sold so many of my coaching sessions ever. And so, but a lot of that also comes from learning how to promote my coaching sessions from things that I learned within Royale Business Academy. So it's about building your business. It's not about reselling Royale Business Academy. Not everybody resells it. And I tell them that. I'm like, and I even show them, because there is a community in there where we can see, like, people will leave their testimonials and, you know, show screenshots of how much they're making. And you have some people that learn, like, there was one person that learned drop shipping within Royale Business Academy and showed that they had a $30,000 month. And so, you know, I use that as an example. This person's not reselling Royale Business Academy. So that, no, it's not an MLM. They're literally getting the education from it. That's what it's about. And I tell people, don't try to turn around and sell a product to somebody and you're not even going through it yourself. You're not learning from it. So, you know, again, it's about the transformation of it, and your customers should be getting a transformation, not you selling a product to them. You're giving them access to having this transformation and learning this business stuff without having to spend thousands of dollars on a single course to help them build their business credit. So yeah, I think that's really underrated, because like I said, I have to basically explain that in live streams, even though it's on the sales page, even though there's like a free sample showing you like a little bit of inside of the Royale Business Academy. That's all on my sales page. But people want to see me in the live stream, and then they see me in the live stream and then they decide they're going to buy it. But yeah, that's definitely underrated, because there's no way in all heck that this should only be $77. I'm gonna be 100% honest, but I don't set the prices for it, because I would be charging way more for it.
So it's your most popular and it's underrated. That's interesting. But I guess it just speaks to the value of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty soon we're gonna go ahead and start winding down. But being true to the theme of this season, the theme of this season is really about lifestyle and how do you survive in the world of self-employment or being a one-person business, you know, without a job. How long have you been off the job market, Nikki?
Since 2020.
Since 2020. So
when everything shut down. So when everything had shut down, I was doing a whole bunch of side hustles, including rideshare, you know, the Uber, the Lyft, and all that, the DoorDash, and all of it. So yeah, I've been out of that realm since 2020.
What keeps you off the job market and keeps you doing what you're doing?
The time of it. Like, because the thing is, like, when it comes to working for somebody else, adhering to somebody else's schedule is not conducive for my world. Like, that's the issue. Because like I said, I have coaching sessions and things that I have to do on a daily basis. So it's like, I'm not trying to, you know, have to go to a day job and then I have, you know, coaching sessions like that. That means my coaching sessions during the weekdays are shot, because I'm not going to do like late at night coaching sessions, you know, because in the evening, I'm going to spend time with my daughter too. So at that, you know, there's still, you know, the fact I'm a single mom. So it's not that I have, you know, the freedom to be able to just do what I want. I still have to balance out and make sure that things are handled with my daughter's school and, you know, all kinds of things. So yeah, I don't have that luxury of being able to still run my business and build somebody else's business, like clocking into a 9 to 5.
I don't know if luxury would be the right word I would use. A lot of people would kill to be in that position. It's more like
I mean, but I do think it's a luxury when you're able to have the freedom to have your side business and still be able to work a 9 to 5 and get that steady check. That is a luxury. That's how I look at it. You know, that's a steady income. That's still a steady income. And like we all know, entrepreneurship is not a steady income. You know, you don't know if you're not going to get sales for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, to be able to fall back on a steady check with benefits, that's a luxury for me. I consider it a luxury.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, you're talking to someone who's psychologically unemployable at this point, so that's why I kind of push back on that because ultimately there's an opportunity cost, and if you know various ways on how to make money, then going back to work on a salary or per hour, where you could be charging a flat fee to do X, Y, Z, and then you know how to actually get out there and promote it. It's like, well, I spend 8 hours building someone else's business, getting paid per hour when if I did the same thing, I probably could make 4 or 5 times as much. Not
Right.
strictly just because, but simply I control the pricing and you can get away from this per hour bullshit. Like that's really what limits wealth. Like you're not making
Yeah.
money in your sleep. And if you are going to exchange time for money, you can exchange it for a flat fee so that you can do the task faster. That per hour stuff, you're punished for being more efficient and it puts a cap on your potential.
Exactly. All for a 1% raise after 12 months.
Oh, God. That just sounds. It's just a completely different world at this point. But speaking of a different world, you said like you're in an apartment. Um, did you obviously apartments have, especially the higher tier ones, and even if you're trying to qualify for a mortgage for a house, they require like a degree of like steady income. And when people have jobs, the job does a lot of stuff for you that we kind of overlook. Like they're providing you a pay stub and like it's easy for them to track your income and you just give that information to the people. As someone who's self-employed, what was the process? Did they have a special process for you when you went to apply to stay at that apartment? And like, was there a different process since you're self-employed?
Well, I have tips for both of those, for both options, but my apartment is under my business. So I just showed the business income. And it was actually a
When
lot easier than doing it the personal way.
when you say show business income, so you provided like the bank statements.
Yeah, bank statements.
Okay.
You have to show like that you're a legit business. So you have to show like your the proof of forming your business, because like I said, I have an LLC.
Mm.
So I was able to show that documentation, show that I had the EIN, the employment identification number through the government. And that was it. It wasn't as much paperwork as any of the the apartments that I put through my own personal credit and stuff. I had already built up my business credit. And it wasn't even all that long. I would say I hadn't started working on my business credit for only for like maybe a year before that. But all it takes is, especially like after 6 months, they typically will like really look at you as like, oh, okay, this person's, this business has legitimate income for, or legitimate credit for the last 6 months. They see that you're paying off your creditors and that kind of stuff. So yeah, normally 6 months of that will normally get you the clout that you need to get an apartment. Some apartments require like a year or 2 years, but yeah, I think 6 months is like the start. But even outside of that, you can and I do pay yourself through your business. It's like when you have a business, you can pay yourself. So you can legit, there are platforms and ways that you can write, get checks distributed to yourself from your business.
Essentially, you're
So
an employee of your business.
yeah. I'm sorry.
You're an employee of your business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you can absolutely do that. So yeah, so there's a couple options when it comes to that. But yeah, those are the two that I know of.
Did you what did you use for your business credit? Did you use Duns and Bradstreet or what?
Yeah, you don't have a choice. I can't stand them. But yeah. Yeah. Because
Okay.
the reason why I said that, and I'm not even going to just leave it at I can't stand them. The reason why I said that is because Dun and Bradstreet tends to get your information from other places. So by the time I went to provide them with my business information, when I realized like, oh, I need to be building business credit, they had already had a lot of my information, but they were mixing up my personal information with my business information and had all kinds of wrong information in there. And
Oh,
And it was months of back and forth of trying to get them to take out my personal information and put my business information in there. And I know even one of the most simplest things that they kept messing up with was or that they gave me a lot of pushback about was my business phone number. They were putting my personal cell phone number on Dun and Bradstreet. And I'm like, that is not my business phone number. This is my business phone number. So I need this changed. And they would come at me and say, well, we need to see your phone bill of that you're paying this phone bill for your business. And I'm like, but you didn't need to see the phone bill to put my personal cell phone out. And my business phone number is a Google Voice number. So there's no monthly bill. I pay one time and I have this number forever. And so basically it was a push and pull of they're asking me to show a monthly bill that doesn't exist. So, and we're giving me pushback to the point where, I literally had to go through the Better Business Bureau. I had to go through all kinds of channels in order to get to a manager, in order to get them to stop putting my they were putting my home address out. It was all kinds of stuff. And like I said, I worked in law enforcement. So no, I don't want my home address sitting on Dun and Bradstreet when somebody goes to look up my business. So yeah, it was just a safety issue. It was just a thing of they wanted to put out what information they wanted to. And it was also getting me denied business credit because it wasn't matching up when I would go apply for a business card. It wasn't matching up. Like they're like, no, this address doesn't match or this phone number doesn't match. And this can't be the same business. So it was literally hindering me and getting me denied for business credit that I had every right to get. So it was just a long thing. And Dun and Bradstreet and me we're not friends and never will be. So
that sounds like the basis for a lawsuit, particularly with the address. Like that's a big safety concern.
Yeah, but here's the irony. When I was going through this, I saw that there was a class action lawsuit and it disproportionately affected minorities, where they were putting incorrect information out, and it was a class action lawsuit. And that was actually already a done deal at that point by the time it even occurred with me, but they were still doing it. So yeah.
Yes.
You can look it up. It's a class action lawsuit that did disproportionately affect minorities, and they still do it. So that's why I let people know, as soon as you do formulate that business, just go into Dun and Bradstreet, give them the information yourself, and maybe that could eliminate some of the issues. But yeah, they just had so much incorrect information, and this was months of back and forth, months of me not being able to build up my business credit because of that.
Wow. I didn't know it was such a hassle nowadays. But when I did this stuff, it was like back in 2015. So I just didn't know it got so bad. I might have to look. I'll do some more research into that to see if I can link some information on maybe there's some hacks around it, so people don't have to go through that. Or maybe it's not an issue anymore. That would actually be best, but just in case. Well, what's funny?
I'm sure it is an issue. There's no way you can go from having a class action lawsuit and you're still doing it years later, and then you suddenly stop. It's just not going to happen. I don't see it happening.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I would ask next, what is the biggest challenge you've encountered, being a full-time business owner when it comes to work-life balance? And how did you solve it? Or did you not solve it?
Well, I honestly think it's more about setting the boundary between the people in my personal life and my business. Because like I said, I'm a workaholic. But people think, oh, since she works from home, I can call her any time of the day. I can call her and have a conversation. It's like, no, I don't want to talk to you during the day. I'm working. What are you not understanding? So it's like people just assume that you're readily available to them 24/7 because you don't have to go to a 9 to 5. And you know, that's an issue. Even, and I will say, even with my kid, like, she doesn't respect the fact that it's just like, you know, like, for example, I think it's smoothed out now quite a bit, but especially when she first started this school year, was like, it's her first year of high school, and she would go have conversations, miss the bus, and like, Mom, can you pick me up? What do you mean? And now I have to go travel 30 minutes to go pick you up, and then another 30 minutes back. Like, you know, but to her, it's like, oh, but Mom is home, so I can, you know, willy-nilly miss the bus. And I'm like, no, you can't. So it's literally just in my personal life, it's just setting that boundary between, like, no, I'm not readily available for you guys. And especially now that I have a lot of coaching sessions. So I have coaching sessions almost every day. So it's like, okay, you know, just because I'm home doesn't mean I'm not doing anything. I'm literally sitting with clients right now. So no, you can't come calling my phone or trying to have a conversation with me. Or then I have people that are like, oh, you know, I want to hang out. And it's like, no, believe it or not, on a Friday night, I'm working. So I'm not going to hang out. So it's just, you know, that's typically how my life is. It's like, and I already planned out what, you know, certain things that I had to have out by Saturday morning, for example, like if I'm editing a video or something like that. And it's like, no, I'm not going to go hang out. And people take it personally sometimes. And it's like, no, I just am not going to do that. Like, the job is more important.
Gotcha. Well, maybe if these people came up with you, if they planned their life out more accordingly too, like maybe a few weeks, like, hey, can we go get something to eat together? Then you can put it on your calendar. It might be different, but they have this spontaneous vibe. But I just feel like going out on a Friday. It's Thursday. Let me give her a call, see if she's like, it doesn't kind of work like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like, it doesn't work that way for successful people in general, not just like entrepreneurs, even like high level executives and employees. They tend to just plan their life out. It's not that they don't want to
Exactly.
see you. It's like, we can't see you spontaneously. Let's just plan this
Yeah.
in advance.
Yeah, I literally just went through that this weekend. Like, somebody saw that I was like out in Philly. And the thing is, like, even when I'm out, like, people don't realize I'm still creating content. Like, 'cause again, like, we've been talking about Nikki Connected, but I still have Nikki For Real that I have to do content for. So like, I went to a Meek Mill show, and I'm like, this is my content time. Like, this is my time where I'm able to get, you know, shots of me in the crowds, and, you know, that kind of thing. And even behind the scenes, like, people don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Like with the venue, like, you know, I communicate with venues and all kinds of things behind the scenes. Sometimes getting tickets into things, or, you know, like, they want certain content, or they're asking me to film certain content, or, you know, that kind of thing. So I have to make sure my content is top tier. And, you know, so somebody might just be assuming, oh, she was just at the Meek Mill show. And it's like, but believe it or not, there was actually some money making stuff behind the scenes of that for me. Like, even if, you know, it wasn't directly with Meek Mill and his team, it was literally, you know, things going on where also, like, my outfits and stuff, you know, that's affiliate marketing. That's me, you know, I have to make sure I have clear content for that. And also, when I'm putting out footage and things, and I'm tagging these venues and things, the footage has to look good so that I can you know, work with them in the future, and that kind of thing. And these were the things that were going on in the background. And so people are messaging me like, oh my gosh, I see you're hanging out today. Like, let's hang out. No, I'm not hanging out. I'm literally working, believe it or not. But yeah, even with that, like, and, you know, this year, or in 2025, I started traveling for business a lot, especially going to New York and things like that. And people, you know, I made a lot of friends in New York, and they'll see content. They're like, you know, see my Instagram stories or something. Oh my gosh, you're in New York, let's hang out. Like, no, actually, I just put that out, but I'm back home. That's number one. And number two, the other thing is, I'm here for business, like, especially like if I have a business event or something like that. No, like, people don't realize, like, those events get really, really busy. And so, like, yeah, you guys are seeing the fun content side of it, but at the same time, it's like, no, like, their brands are asking for certain shots, and, you know, all kinds of things. So yeah, it gets really hectic, and people take it, like I said, they sometimes take it personally, like, oh, she came into town and she didn't hang out with me, or she didn't call me. And it's like, no, I'm tired, and I actually didn't even stay overnight. I had to drive 2.5 hours back home. So like, no, and I'm not the hangout type. I'm just not that girl. So believe it or not, like, despite what you see on my Instagram, I'm not that hangout girl ever. So yeah.
Okay. I don't know what song Meek Mill was performing, but I think it would be ironic if he is doing "I'm a Boss," and if people were complaining about you working, like, well, no, I'm doing the song.
He did do "I'm a Boss." He did. He did do that. I don't even know if I posted that one, but yeah, he and then if you know Meek Mill's music, he talks a lot about getting money, hustling, and just grinding, and that kind of vibe and getting money. So yeah, there was a lot of lyrics based on that. And matter of fact, like a reel I put up today, sure enough, he did say something about like making money and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's like I'm literally working, y'all. So
yeah, it's most appropriate. Okay.
mm-hmm.
So this is the last question I'm gonna ask, and we'll start winding down. But what, in your opinion, like, what's the biggest pro for yourself of being like self-employed?
I would say that the freedom of the time.
Okay.
Like, for example, like if I feel like getting up and going to the gym, or I'm not a gym rat at all, but like if I decided I feel like getting lunch from this place that's out an hour away, I'll go and do it. Or maybe there's been times where I'm like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go to this restaurant and decide to work from there that day. Like I want to have me a cocktail while I work, and I can do that. Most people can't do that because then they have to go back to work. You can't go drink a cocktail and then go talk in your boss's face. So yeah, so that freedom is really good. Also, like this year is a little different. The school year is a little different, but for the last several years, I have been on parents' council at my daughter's school. So most of those women that were on parents' council were, housewives, and so they would be asking like, you actually have a job, like like they're like, oh, my husband pays for everything, and it's like, no, I'm a single mom, and but they didn't know. They wouldn't even know until they had the conversations with me, because they're like, you're here every day. How are you still here? How are you able to help build this set for this play every day if you actually work? Like, how are you doing that? So it's yeah, so yeah, I think that the freedom of the time, and especially, and that was actually why I got into doing what I'm doing, because I'll never forget, I was working a 9 to 5, and my daughter was in daycare, and this was it was a Thanksgiving event, was the first event that her daycare, or it was a preschool. It was the first event that they had, and they had cameras so you could clock in from wherever you were like, and see your kid and stuff. And I'll never forget it. They had like a family day or whatever, like for families to come for Thanksgiving. And I was brand new at this job. And I was actually so afraid to ask for any time off, because I think it was like my first week there. And so I'll never forget, I logged into the camera and I could see all these parents with their kids. And my kid was sitting there playing by herself with no parent. And I was just like, never again, never again. And so, yeah, for me, I was like, I need the freedom to be able to not have to ask permission to go and support my kid. So yeah, after that was when that mission started, to be able to get here.
Ooh, that's powerful. I know a lot of people will be able to relate to that too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Well, last question is not really a question for you, but I do like to ask my guests if they have a question that they want to hit me with. So you got anything you want to hit me with, Nikki?
I want to know how's the Airbnb stuff going? Are you still doing that?
Oh yeah. It's been slower than normal. Why? Certain people in office have a big influence on that, but I'm gonna try and keep the politics out of this. I'm just saying that the tariffs do impact the travel industry, and people traveling less means that there's less demand, and then there's more units than there is demand, so things tend to be slow. And the offset that you can discount the rates, but if you discount them too much, that's where you start to get bad guests. So I personally would rather just leave the unit vacant for that day than risk getting a bad guest.
Right.
Because having to deal with them is quite the hassle.
Mm-hmm.
So now everything is seasonal. So my market has its high seasons, it has its like just okay seasons, and its low seasons. It hasn't been as high during the high seasons as it used to, and the low seasons have kind of been getting kind of low. It's not to the points where I'm losing money or anything, but there is the opportunity cost. Well, if I was putting time in something else, I could be making more money. It hasn't gotten to the points where the opportunity cost is too great, but I have started to explore other ways of making money in real estate. But that was my game plan originally anyway. I wasn't going to stay doing the Airbnb thing. It was a conduit to get me into traditional real estate. The only difference is I now have the skill set of running a short-term rental business and a corporate housing business. So that's great. So it's more so I'm just implementing the game plan. If it does drop any more though, I might not renew my leases though. I might just let them, expire and then put the furniture in storage. But it looks like the tariff war is kind of ending, and the World Cup is happening next year. Regardless of what's going on, that's going to be a nice punch. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's awesome. So how I do have one more question. So like, because I know there have been like a lot of rules being implemented like in different states. Does that affect you? Like I know like for example, in New York, there were like certain Airbnb rules like for Airbnb owners and things like that. Like, are there any rules that they have been implement or that maybe your state has implemented that is affecting your business?
Uh, Not so much a state, and even in these other places, it's usually not on a state level; it's on a local level. So what
Right.
you're saying is in New York City, they passed some rules where essentially you can't even have a short-term rental unless you're in the same home as the person you're renting it to. So essentially, the ability to have a unit to yourself on Airbnb is not possible in New York City, which is like, wow, that's such a big deal.
Right.
Here, there's been something that's been trying to happen for the past few years, but it's been failing. They've actually been trying to ban short-term rentals, which isn't banning Airbnb outright. It's just most of the stays on Airbnb are short-term rentals. And let me define what a short-term rental is. It's it depends on your state, but it's usually between 28 to 30 days. A state is under that amount of time. So if it's under that amount of time, it falls under the category of a short-term rental. And the city of Dallas has been trying to pass a short-term rental ban. Here's where I'm going to put my tinfoil Koofy hat on and go into conspiracy theorist mode. I think that they're backed by the hotels here because they're getting hit too hard. But can I prove that? Not necessarily. I'm just reading between the lines. Maybe I'm connecting dots that shouldn't be connected. But with that being the case, us as in real estate investors, we've actually band together. There's called the STRA, the Short-Term Rental Alliance. We've actually got a lobbyist, and we've been pushing back on it because all we want is a reasonable set of regulations. Right now, there's no regulations in the market. But if you want to regulate it, that's fine. Have us apply for a permit, maybe pay an annual fee. Maybe have a 3 strikes rule where if there's an incident in your Airbnb business 3 times a year, then your permit is revoked. Something like that.
Oh.
Because some of the complaints are reasonable. It's because we have bad hosts, and bad hosts make it bad for all of us. And I'll give you some examples. There's a lot of old rich folks that don't want short-term rentals in their neighborhood because someone may end up throwing a party and the host doesn't realize it. And these cats are parking cars in their driveway. That is a legitimate complaint. It is.
It is, right.
Yeah. So what could be implemented instead is if the host knew better, but you can just have a Ring camera in front of the door. That's something simple. So immediately when a party is going on, then you can either call the cops or do whatever your protocol is to stop the party and kick the guest out. Right. But you could do it in a timely manner to the point to where no one even realized it was going to happen. But that would
Okay.
require maybe a certain amount of training, which you could go through if you have to get this training in order to have this permit. That's a reasonable
Oh,
set of regulations versus we're just going to ban it all together, which would actually be a pay cut for the city because we pay short-term rental taxes called hot tax, same tax as hotels, and we're employing like local housekeepers and stuff like that. So if we were to get banned, then you would be taking a pay cut, which is stupid as a city.
right.
Yeah, but so far it's been going pretty well. It that is going to the Supreme Court now, but we won the case and they're trying to appeal it. But the fact that we won and they're trying to appeal it in the Supreme Court generally is very pro-business, like in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's looking optimistic. But I do have a backup plan. If it does get banned, most of my bookings have actually been corporate housing. That stays between 30 days and 12 months. So if it passed, I wouldn't be affected anyway, largely.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. I know that's a long-winded answer, but did that kind of answer your question?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. You've always been curious about the Airbnb scene. I'm kind of wondering if one day you're going to step in it.
Nope.
So you're curious as an observer. Got you.
Yes. I'm not even that girl that once said to buy a house. Like I'm that girl that will live in a condo forever. Like I'm just, no.
Okay. Got you. So do you like you're always like staying like in the middle of downtown or uptown or something like that? Potentially.
No, I'm quiet. I want to be in the suburbs. I want to be away from the hustle and bustle. But at the same time, I do I'm not the type where I want a big old lawn. I don't. I'm just not that girl. I don't want to
Are you on the
give
right
me
show?
cement.
You say you want to be away from the hustle and bustle. You see what's on the screen, right? I'm just trolling her. Don't take that so serious, audience. I can respect that though. But speaking of the show, yeah, we're gonna start winding down. Nikki, where can people get more of you if they want to get more of you, like YouTube channel, your website, etc.?
Yeah. So my website is nikkiconnected.com. Nikki connected.com. People spell Nikki all kinds of weird ways sometimes. Also on Instagram, I'm at Nikki Connected. My lifestyle brand and the one where I'm all sarcastic and do the relationship topics and the affiliate marketing and the other stuff is Nikki for real. So Nikki #4 real. Actually Instagram is official Nikki for real. And I have a blog for both. So my Nikki for real blog is Nikki #4real.com. So I'm everywhere as either Nikki Connected or Nikki #4 real. So yeah.
Awesome. We'll be sure to leave the links in the description and also the pinned comment. This has been this episode of the Side Hustler Society. I thought it was pretty fun. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Much appreciated. Subscribe if you're new. And if you're listening or watching this on Spotify or a place where you can leave a review, if you do that, that's greatly appreciated. And we will catch y'all in the next show. Be safe and be profitable, everyone.
This episode may be over, but your hustling journey has just started. Visit thesidehustlersociety.com to access all links and resources mentioned in the show that will help you on your hustler's journey.